I beat the main story of Arkham Knight without taking a single hit, which might seem like a very hard challenge, but let me tell you, it's not as hard as you may think. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were a few failures, but the challenge was actually much easier than I expected, simply because the combat is actually pretty well balanced. So much so that whether or not you take a hit is completely within your control, unlike most other games where luck can pretty much just ruin it for you. Anyway, there are probably a few things I should clear up. When I said the main story, I meant just the main story, so just this section of the mission menu, which means none of the side missions and none of the DLCs. It doesn't mean that when I did those missions the no hit rules didn't apply to them, because it did. However, I'm going to be tackling them in a completely separate video at some point in the future. Now when it comes down to actually doing no hit runs, there are actually two ways to do it. First method is you play the game like normal, but if you take a hit, you restart the entire game again. And the second method is you play the game, but if you take a hit, you have to restart from your latest checkpoint. That way it's still no hit, because that entire section where you took a hit, you have to redo the entire thing again without taking a hit, making it so that every section of the game you've basically done without taking a single hit. And obviously I chose option 2 because Arkham Knight is a fairly long game, and thus restarting it every single time you took a hit would basically be insane. Now with that being said, let's move on to the rules. I cannot take any hits or damage that would essentially remove the no hit or never shot bonus from the combat summary at the end of each combat, which essentially means I can't take any hits, whether it's bullets, knives or punch. However, there is one attack you can fall victim to that doesn't do any damage to the Batman, and it also doesn't remove the no hit bonus. Probably because you can see this attack coming sometimes, and then sometimes this attack happens right next to Batman, so much so that I don't think anyone has the human reaction time to be able to not fall victim to that attack, which is probably why the developers didn't let it remove the no hit bonus, because it's not really fair. Hence why I'm whitelisting just that one attack. But everything else, no. And to take it a step further, I decided when it came to the Cobra tank fights, I would also include being detected in the Batmobile as a hit, just because the Cobra tank fights are so easy that I just wanted to add an extra step of challenge to it. Now I was going to include the never seen bonus in the rules when it came to stealth fights, but frankly that is a completely separate challenge in itself, especially since I have no idea how the never seen bonus works, because there have been times where I've just never been seen and yet just not got the bonus. I don't know how it works, but whatever. So how did the run go? Well, as you can see, I took 62 hits in total, which isn't actually entirely accurate. There were some errors when I recorded some of the stuff. At one point I took a hit and then I had a coughing fit, so I took a second hit, but I didn't count the second hit because I took a coughing fit. And then later on there was another point where I counted a hit. It wasn't actually a hit because I looked back in the recording, turns out I didn't take a hit. So yeah, plus or minus 1 or 2 depending on what you want to count as a hit or not a hit. Now towards the end of the game there was a hit that I ended up taking that was actually completely confusing to me, because I have no idea how this happened. During the raid on the GCPD you have to fight off the militia on the roof with the help of Oracle, and some of the enemies you have to face are the militia brutes. Now one of them was charging at me when they were in the knife blade mode, and like normal what you do with them is you cape stun them, which is what I did. But somehow Batman got stunned and took damage, despite the fact that he cape stunned him. And I won't lie to you, at the time I had no idea that I ended up taking damage. I just thought I got stunned. I was like, what the hell, how am I stunned? I didn't occur to me to check my health, and then I ended up beating that entire section whilst having taken a hit. And then I saw the menu come up and I was like, oh my god, I haven't taken a hit, and I freaked out. But luckily it didn't save because I restarted and I could have to do it over again. But still, I've tried my best to replicate what happened here. I have cape stunned those bladed boots multiple times now, and I've still not been stunned. I genuinely, for the life of me, cannot figure out how I took damage here. If anyone knows, please let me know. But with that being said, that is not the worst hit I've taken, because the worst hit I took was the Scarecrow. Yeah. See the section when you're on the Stag Industries and you got Scarecrow and he starts talking to you about the monologue. Normally I just insta-attack him, but today I said, you know what, I'm going to listen to the monologue. But then I was an absolute idiot, because when he finished the monologue, I pressed the wrong button. I attacked instead of blocking, because I ended up taking a hit just to Scarecrow. Now the hardest fight that I ended up taking most hits to would probably have to be the tank fight at the attack on GCPD. I don't think I really need to say much, because I mean, well, you know, it's like 60 tanks. You're in a very, very small area where you don't have much to maneuver at the beginning. Still, it wasn't too hard. I did manage to do it pretty quickly. However, there was one section of the briefing which I took me a couple attempts because I let it get to me. I actually beat that section first try. However, the game didn't save and it didn't give me the drop down menu to show me whether or not I got the no hit bonus. So I couldn't be sure that I did it with no hit. So I restarted, and then just for some reason I guess I let it get to my head because I just couldn't do it. Anyway, the easiest fight would probably have to be the first fight on the attack of GCPD, just because, well, do I really need to say anything more than that? But yeah, there isn't really much more I could really say on the run, other than the fact that it wasn't actually as hard as I expected it to be. And I guess that's because the main story doesn't have as much fighting in it as I expected there to be, as I remembered there to be. I guess most of it is in the side missions, which is now what I have to go ahead and do. Yay, Riddler. But anyway, I genuinely think I could do much better than 62 hits. I probably could do 0, maybe get that number down to 0. If with enough time and practice. But for now, my next focus is the side missions and maybe doing another challenge where never being seen is the challenge. Or maybe a no skills, never spending skills. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, then, well, hit the like button. If you didn't like this video, why are you still here? Thank you. Subscribe, and see you all in the next video, or check out some of my other videos if you want to. Anyway, see ya.